Alright, people, let's talk about it. Okay? Let's just get it all out in the open. Boss Nation, what's good? It's your boy Jay. So, why is it when you and, let's say your significant other is having a friendly, regular conversation, and you say something that they particularly don't like, but they get upset about it? Not all the time are you talking about them. Just like I'm pretty sure they may say certain things that you don't like. Not all the time are they talking about you. It's crazy because as human beings, we always assume that a certain statement is directed toward us, and it's really not. Not at all. A statement can be just that, a statement. And it's crazy because, sitting here, I'm married. I've been married for 2 years, Me and my wife, we have ups and downs. We go through our fair share of disagreements and arguments like every married couple. But it's so crazy because I talk to, a lot of, before I got married, I talked to a couple people that was married, that had been married for some years. And I asked them, dude, what do you do, man? If you and your partner, your wife, y'all get into it, like, what happens? Like, what's the next step? 3 days and no talking. That's the next step. And then you wake up one day and just, hey, refrigerator still in the kitchen? Yeah. Okay. Just make sure anybody take it. And they may say something like, hey, carpet still there? They all the way in the room, and they ain't seen the living room carpet in forever. And they just, hey, we still got carpet, or we got hardwood floor? We got carpet. Okay. Just checking. That's what little things, certain little couples do. To after 3 days of no talking. Sometimes a week of no talking, you just say little things, it ain't gotta be nothing big. Just say something little, And I'm getting the hang of this, I'm still new at this, and at times when my wife gets upset with me, she's upset. She's genuinely upset. And it seems like that I don't know where she's coming from, but, I do. I sit there, and at the time I don't, but when I sit there and I think about it and I realize, she has a legit reason to be upset, it's crazy because sometimes us as men have a legit reason to be upset also. But not all the time can we voice that reason. And sometimes that could be a problem. But as a man, sometimes, you just gotta, hey, stove still there? Or you want a burger? Sometimes don't even say nothing. Don't even say nothing, Just when you get up that morning, just make a breakfast. Make a lunch. Make a dinner, whatever. Just do something, to show her, that, all right, I got you. I heard you. I heard what you said, but, am I right? No, I'm not right. Am I perfect? No, I'm not perfect. I will never be perfect. And I've never claimed to be perfect. But, I'm just saying, at times, sometimes a certain conversation can just be that, a regular conversation. Not everybody's always taking a jab at you for anything at all. And it's sometimes hard to feel that way when you had people in your past always take jabs at you all the time. It seems like everything you do was never perfect. It's like they always criticize everything that you did. Sometimes even down to your parents. They criticize everything that you did. So you always felt like, I know I have at times, that you just can't do nothing right. Nothing right at all. Let me tell y'all a story. It's a true story. And I don't know, a lot of people might watch this video. A lot of people might not. Hell, some people might not watch this video past a couple of seconds. But hey, that's okay. I'm still going to keep doing my thing. But for real, I'm going to tell y'all a true story. This was in 2017. My bad. I lied. Not 2017, 2012. I had just graduated high school the month before. Me and my cousin David was walking to the store, and my cousin lived in the old projects. So me and him was walking to the store. His little brother, my cousin Darius, asked us to get him. I know, I went all the way off topic. Totally different conversation now. But we're going to talk about it. Totally. He asked me to get him something to drink and something to eat from the store. Okay? Now, at this time, when I did this, I was thinking about suicide. And the reason why I was thinking about suicide, well, actually, no, I am right on topic. The reason why I was thinking about suicide is because I felt like, that nothing mattered. That no matter what I did, I just seemed like everything I did, I just kept messing up. It's like, mom tell me something, and I'm like, I'm thinking I'm doing right. I'm thinking I'm doing good, and then it's like, sometimes it just wasn't. I was doing stupid stuff. Just for no reason at all. Just doing stupid stuff. Mind you, I just graduated high school. I'm 19 years old. Just graduated high school, and I felt like I couldn't do nothing right. My dad had prostate cancer, couldn't do nothing about it. I got accepted into 2 colleges, one in where's that damn school? Tennessee, and the other one in Ohio. I ended up going to the one in Ohio because that's where my dad stayed at, and in Lima, Ohio, when I ended up going to school at for Diesel Automotive. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I felt like, I couldn't do nothing right. I always felt like, I just kept messing up. I used to, something would happen between me and mine. I have, for those who, if you know me, you know me. If you don't, then let me introduce you. My name is Jaquan. I have 5 sisters. 5. Okay? I am the only boy. So growing up with 5 sisters, sometimes I say things, or I have said things. Dang, excuse me, I'm sorry. I have said things that, they didn't particularly like. But at the time, I'm not knowing that. I'm not knowing that they're going to, I can't talk, that they're not going to like, my comment. They asked me a question. Excuse me. And I tell them exactly what I felt, how I felt. And sometimes, my answer would be downright disrespectful and uncalled for. And I'm just like, dang, man. Or, the youngest 2 are younger than me by a couple years. And, sometimes, I will be doing stuff with them or talking to them, and then something happens, or, or I hit them, or, we're riding a bike, or I'm trying to do something with them, and they end up getting hurt or something, and I just always felt like, why am I here? I should just kill myself, So, I was walking to the store, and I had made it up in my mind that I was going to die that day. I had made it up in my mind that was the day that I was going to kill myself. I didn't want to use a gun or a knife, but I made it up in my mind that I was going to commit suicide. And I was going to do it by vehicle. I seen the 18-wheeler coming up on my left. We just came back from the store. I had my cousin's snacks that he wanted, and my other cousin David was walking in front of me, and I just started drifting towards the road. Now I know this truck was coming, because I seen it, and it was coming fast. And anybody know anything about Whiteville, North Carolina? 74, 76. Listen, from the bowling alley, boy, they be moving right there. You hear me? So crossing over there, because that's where we cross at. Like, right, it's a bank right there where Pickford's is, and we cross right there instead of walking down further and crossing at the gas station, or gas station's too far. Right there, Family Dollar. So I made it up in my mind that I was gonna die today, and that was it. Made it up in my mind. So I'm inching towards the road, and it's like a gush of wind. A gush of wind blew me back onto the sidewalk, And ever since that happened, I didn't really know what to think of it, but I just felt like, my time isn't, okay, well, it's not my time yet. So fast forward a little bit, a couple months, I go to college, and I start having these same thoughts, that I'm not wanted. I actually told my dad while I was there, that I'm moving out, because I told him I felt like I was taking up space, unwanted space, that space could be filled, and that money that he was using on me, he could have used that money on something else. And then as my dad, being my dad, it was like, son, where you going? You my son, you ain't going nowhere. You gonna stay right here because I said so. But I didn't feel like that, I always felt like, I kept messing everything up. Now, my second mom, it was coming up on Christmas, and she asked me what I wanted for Christmas. And I'm like, I don't know, And she's like, Q, what do you want? So, I like to read. I'm a big reader. So I told her I wanted, I had already read the book Cartel. And I told her I wanted the rest of the Cartel series. So she goes out and buys it for me. That was my Christmas gift. The Cartel series. There were, the rest, 2, 3, 4, and Murder Mamas. Now, mind you, like I said, I always felt like, that I never could do anything right. But then I started thinking, and I'm like, it's somebody out there that's, worse off than I am. So I'm thinking, and I'm like, I got these books. Well, I can escape my reality just for a little while, with reading. And I still read to this day. I absolutely positively love it. Now, just for a little bit, reading gets me away from my reality, from what's going on. And it don't always have to be, nothing bad going on. I could be having a good day. It could be a nice day. Everything could be going great. But, I like to read. And, reading takes you to, it takes you to a whole nother world. And so I finished the series, within about a month. Within about a month or two, And instead of going back to college, I decided that I did not want to. Again, I felt like a lot of other people felt like, that I did not know at the time, helpless, But I pushed through it, and one day I was walking home. My dad got me a job at this garage, and I was walking home one day, and in Ohio, they got buses, big ass buses, and that's how the city is. And just like when I was home in North Carolina, I was going to where I'm at now. I was going to step in front of the 18-wheeler and end it all. When I went to Ohio, I was going to do the same thing, but instead it was going to be in front of a bus. And it rained and it snowed, meaning it was ice all on the ground. So if I wanted to, all I really had to do was step out, and that bus was not going to stop, because the way that snow was hitting, the way that ice was sliding, the way that ice had them cars, and don't listen, I'm trying to tell you, whoo, boy, you going for a ride on that ice. I could have ended it all there, but I have 3 nieces. Absolutely the wonders of my heart. And Gabby, Zavelle, and Kayla. My 3 nieces. My first 3 heartbeats. I have a daughter now. So, she became my daughter was born, she became my number 1. My absolutely positively my heartbeat. But before my daughter was ever thought of being born, I had my nieces. And my nieces were my 3 heartbeats. And I thought to myself at that time, when I wake up in the morning, I sometimes will forget that my niece would crawl to the steps and just make noise just so I could come get her. Bring her back downstairs with me. We lay back down on the couch and she go right back to sleep. My sister wake up in the morning. She's trying to figure out where her baby at. She come downstairs. She see her baby laying on my chest, knocked out. So after a while, it happened a couple times. My niece will crawl over my sister. Get her little fingers under the door, pull the door open, and sit at the top of the steps. Mind you, it was dark, okay? And I don't even think she was 1 yet, but she could crawl. She was crawling good. Matter of fact, she was not even 1 yet when she was doing this. And I thought about that. I thought about what would my nieces think if Uncle checked out early. They call me Uncle when they first wake up in the morning. Uncle. They didn't care that my sister was right there. They didn't care. When they wake up in the morning, Uncle. And that's what got me through. And that's and I thought about that. I thought about that a lot. I'm like, I can't do this. I got 3 little girls that's depending on me. Not actually depending on me, but depending on me. And I just feel like if I would have did that to them, my mom, my sisters, my 2 moms, because I don't, my second mom, she's basically like my mom. So, my 2 moms, my dad, and my sisters and my nieces, my cousins, I felt like if I would have checked out early and did that then, all because I felt like, what somebody said got under my skin and I didn't like it, or, something rubbed me the wrong way and I didn't like it. And hold on, I'm sorry. And I almost did, And sometimes I could talk about it now without crying, but at one point in time, every time I talked about it, I would almost cry. Because when you think about it, it's like, I could have been gone, but I'm not. I could have been. But we don't live in could have been. We live in here and the now. So when I met my wife in 2016, didn't know who she was, but I knew I was going to marry her. Didn't even know what her name was, but I knew that I was going to marry her. That's just what I knew. Now, a lot of guys out there might think I'm crazy. A lot of guys or a lot of girls may watch this and say, man, right, man, you capping, or whatever the new kids say this stuff. I'm 28. I don't know all this new slang that these new kids be talking about anymore. But, when I first met my wife, I'm like, I'm marrying her, I have to. Didn't know her, never seen her before, but I just knew I was going to marry her. Fast forward a year, we lost contact. Fast forward, not even a year. That's about 8 months, and we got back in contact. And we started talking. And here we are now, and we're still together. We've been together for 5 years, all together, since 2017. But we've only been married for 2. And, we have a beautiful daughter. She is the highlight of our day. She is the sunshine to our gloomy nights. Now, I want y'all to hear me clearly when I say this, okay? Hear me very, very clearly. Guys, talking strictly for the guys. Do not, and I repeat, under any circumstances, do not get or marry a woman just because you're having a baby by her. Just because she's pregnant with your child. Women, you do not have to be with that man. You do not have to be with him if he doesn't treat you like he's supposed to treat you. Just because you're having a baby together does not mean that you have to be together. Does not mean that you have to get married. You can still co-parent. And if the other parent does not want to be involved in that child's life growing up, screw them. I could not imagine not being a part of my daughter's life. It's daddy this and daddy that and daddy. And I love it. I am never off daddy duty, except for when I'm working. But for those 8 hours that I'm working, I'm not on, well, technically I am on daddy duty because I'm doing what I got to do for my daughter, because she's, now I have somebody who's looking up to me, who wants me to succeed, my wife does too, and I know she does, but it's nothing like your daughter. It's nothing like your child, your son. We have a daughter. And when she's at work, she's on mommy's duty because, again, just like my daughter is counting on me, my daughter is counting on her also. We have to make it work. We have to make it happen for her. I could not imagine not being in my child's life. I could not. And shout out to all the guys that's in their kids' life. And I know a lot of them. And it's crazy because a lot of guys that I know that I see now that's in their kids' life, some of these guys, I'm like, bruh, I would have never thought. Because, just how they are. Some I went to school with some. Some I just seen from around the way. But I never would have thought, that they would be the family type man, be the family guy. But they are. And I salute that, I really salute that. It's a lot of people, it's a lot of dads that's in their kids' life, that's getting taken from them. They're getting killed, Had 2 cousins get killed 2 years apart in the same month, Now their kids have to grow up without a dad, It's not fair, It's not fair. And then, when your friend, his friend was there with him and he died also. He had 2 kids also. If you know, I'm not throwing out names because, I'm pretty sure a lot of people might not be comfortable with me, dropping names. But if you know, 2 months ago, one of my cousins and his friend and a young lady lost their lives to gun violence. Like I said, if you know, I'm not throwing out names because I'm pretty sure some people might not be comfortable with that, so I'm not going to do that. But I don't know if the young lady had any kids, but I know the 2 gentlemen did. Now they're gone. Now their kids have to grow up without a father. I don't think that's fair, especially, when you are in your kid's life. It's sad that this is what the world comes to. It's sad that, when you want to be in your kid's life, sometimes you can't be because you have a bitter ex or a bitter baby mama or a bitter ex-partner, ex-fiance, however you want to call it. Some people, guys too, it's not. I can't just blame it on the ladies, that keep kids from the father, because there's a lot of guys out there that's doing the same thing. Now, granted, do we know this? No. Is this topic going to really be talked about? No. Why? Because as a man, we don't want to think that we are keeping kids from their mothers. But there are a lot of guys out there that's doing the same tricks that the women are doing. They're deceiving the guys. They are deceiving the women, just like a lot of women are deceiving the guys. And your kid gets left in the middle. That's not cool. It's not cool at all. And I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but if you actually pay attention and if you actually listen real closely, you will realize that everything that I say, everything that I'm saying, is adding up. Everything goes off of what somebody said, how somebody made you feel. You thought somebody was attacking you. That's not the case. And everything that I just talked about will make you feel that way. You go through a lot of stuff that people don't know about. But because you feel like people are attacking you, you can somewhat stay to yourself. Ain't nobody talking about you. Listen, I'm not thinking about you, okay? I'm not. And I'm pretty sure the other people, whoever's watching this, if you got a grudge against somebody, let that go. Because at the end of the day, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it at all. Because if that person leaves this world today and y'all leave on bad terms, you got to understand, you're going to have to deal with that for the rest of your life, because the last thing that you ever talked about to that person was an argument. That's the last thing. And God forbid you say something really, really hateful to that person, and then something happens to them after they leave your house, or after you hang up the phone with them, or after you finish texting them. God forbid something happens, to somebody after y'all have a very, very heated exchange. Again, I'm not throwing out names because that's not what I do. But there are a lot of people that's around where I live where similar things have happened. They have gotten into it with their significant others, and their significant others never made it back home. Do I know them? Probably not. But is it true? It most likely is. They didn't make it back home, so now they have to think about the last thing that they talked about with their significant other, and how that was the very last conversation that they ever got to have. They had plans to have this, to revisit this conversation again, and they probably was going to apologize and say, admit that they were wrong. But like we do when we're in the heat of the moment and we're mad, we ain't apologizing for nothing. And I know me, so I'm trying to tell you, when I'm mad, I ain't apologizing for nothing until I get ready. That's not good, because again, anything can happen at any given time, and that's not, and I don't want that on my conscience, So I try to make it a point, if we get into an argument or a disagreement, and it is kind of heavy, whether she says it back or not, when I leave, I'm going to say, I love you. Do I do it all the time? No, I do not. But I try to. I'm not perfect. I never will be. I try to. I say I love you. And that's what I challenge everybody to do. When you leave the house every day, I don't give a care how mad you are at your significant other. I don't care how mad you are at your parents. I don't care. I don't. Too much stuff is happening. Anything can happen at any given moment. Can't do it. Say I love you, because sometimes that I love you might be the last thing you ever say. And sometimes you're going to wish you got a chance to say it, but all you're going to be doing is talking to a cold body. That's not fun. I've had a couple people die in my life. Like, I'm pretty sure many people have, and some I got a chance to say I love you before they, left this world. Some I did not. And the ones I did not, to this day, it still hurts. It really does, because I had a chance to say goodbye. I had a chance to say I love you, and I did not. Again, everything that I just talked about, if you actually listen, and I know sometimes I can ramble because I know me, but if you actually take the time out to listen to this video and you pay attention real closely, you will find that everything that I said all makes sense. When it all comes down to it, somebody said something that you didn't like. You felt like somebody was attacking you. That's when it all comes down to. Somebody said something that you didn't like, or somebody said something to you that you felt was targeted or directed to you. Once that happens, it starts bringing up old memories of how people did you in your past that actually did do you wrong. Sometimes that's not the case at all. Sometimes that's not the case. I want to see you succeed. I want to see everybody succeed. But at the same time, like I said in the beginning, we have to stop thinking that what everybody says is about us. Sometimes a simple gesture can be just that, a simple gesture. Sometimes, a simple hello could be a simple hello. There's no hidden motives. Everybody out here does not have hidden motives, tricks up their sleeves, trying to trick you. Gotcha! You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not like that. Now, it's a lot of people who are. And, for those that are, I pray that, you get that out your system, or find somebody that can love you for loot. I said love you for loot. Boy, I tell you. Love you for you. But, yeah. Everybody is not always talking about you. Everything is not always about you. Sometimes you got to take it for what it is and let it go. And me saying that, I got to take my own advice, because at times stuff gets said to me and I'm just like, or I see something and I think it's about me. Sometimes it don't even be about me, but because I think it's about me, I go on defense. What a lot of people do, when we see something that we think is about us, we feel a certain type of way, or when you hear something, or you're having a conversation with somebody, sometimes, your significant other, and they say something and you may think it's about you. Sometimes it's not about you. It ain't about nobody. We're just having a conversation. That's all it is. It's just a conversation. Just a conversation. But everybody don't think that way. There's a lot of people out here who, think, that. So a lot of people out here, who think that, there's somebody always out to get them. That everything that you say is not genuine. That, yes, there are tricks up your sleeve. Yes, you do have hidden motives. I don't. We don't. And if you feel like that, sometimes just sit back, think, and relax. What would this person do without me? Not necessarily what would you do without that person, because you can say, I can say, take a second to think, what would you do without that person? Oh, what would I do? Man, look, let me tell you, I can do this, I can do that. But at the same time, what are you really doing? If you can really do without somebody you say you love, maybe you really don't love them the way you say you do. Think, put yourself on them. What would that person do without me? If I wasn't here right now, and we didn't go through all the stuff that we went through, like I said, sometimes it don't got to be bad. Everything does not have to be bad what you go through. It could be good. What would this person do without me? Put yourself in their shoes. Just like you would say, what would I do without them? And you already know what you would do without them. You would be miserable without them. You can say it all till the cows come home, till you're blue in the face. Then no, I won't. I'll be glad when they gone. Oh, they get on my nerves. Oh my gosh, you just don't understand, or you just don't know. I do know. You will be miserable without that person. You will be miserable without this person that you dedicated all this time, energy, and space and everything into. You will be uncompletely, without a doubt, miserable. And the crazy part of it is, sorry about that. Man, light. Good gosh. The crazy part is, that person may be feeling the same thing. Sometimes if you think about what would they be without me. Think about that for a second. Think about, how would this person feel if I walked out of their life today? Put yourself in their shoes and tell me what answer you come up with. I don't know how many people's going to watch this video. I don't know how many people's going to take this video serious. Some people might even take this for a joke. But for the ones who actually watch the whole thing, I want y'all to comment in the comment sections, what you think somebody would actually do if you left them, or if they left you. I really want to know. I really want to know. I really want to see what people have to say about everything that I talked about. I really want to see what people have to say. I want to hear your story, and I'm so serious. I really do. If you watch this video, even if you watch half of it, you can't watch all of it, comment, how you feel. Comment, if the video made you feel good, comment. If it made you feel bad, comment. If it made you feel sad, comment. I don't care. Give me, all comments are welcome. All feedback is welcome. Sometimes you have to take a chance. And sometimes that chance might be the chance that you don't want to take, but it's the chance you need to take. And sometimes, once you realize that everybody is not out to get you, that everybody is not trying to trick you, just maybe, you will start to be happy, and you will actually live the rest of, your time happy. Because a lot of people are not happy. And trust me, I know a lot of them that are not happy. How you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm happy. Everything's going great. No, they ain't. I got a couple friends. Again, I ain't saying names. I got a couple friends, over the years, and we talked. They've been through some things. And they say they was happy. They were legit happy. I know they weren't happy. And I didn't find out just how unhappy they were until we had a legit conversation. Talk to your people. Talk to your people. Find out who's happy and who's not. Just ask a question. Sometimes, are you okay? How are you feeling today? I used to do this when I was in college. I don't do it no more, but I used to do it when I was in college. I would send everybody in my phone a good morning text. Everybody. Mind you, at that time I was 19. I was in college. At that time, I had a bunch of girls' numbers. And everybody in my phone, family members included, I would send them all the good morning texts. And I would send them all the good night texts. Okay? Now, at 19 years old, not many 19-year-olds are sending people, everybody in their phone, good morning and good night texts. I did not realize, what those texts did to people. They would text me back, Mind you, everybody that I was friends with, because I've always had a lot of female friends, up until probably 20, I think. And then whenever I got another phone shortly after when I was in college, when I lost all my contacts. So, but anyway, you never know what somebody's going through. But like I said, I've always had a lot of female friends. And the female friends that I had, majority of what they will be going through they were having trouble with their significant other, their boyfriends. And sometimes a simple good morning text from me would be just what they needed, to pick up their day. And sometimes a simple good night text, because again, for all I know, you just finished having an argument, and I send you good night, I hope you sleep well. And let's say you did sleep well. You wake up the next morning and you realize, I sent you a text that said good night, hope you sleep well, and you had an excellent sleep. Or, before you fell asleep, you sent me a text back. And I did this to everybody. And I did it so much till it got down to the point to where the only people that I would send it to were the people that I was talking to on the regular. People that I was not talking to like that, I got rid of them. And that's what a lot of us need to do. Get rid of people that you're not talking to on a regular. If they not your day ones, sometimes you got to get rid of them. Even some of your day ones, you got to get rid of them, because your day ones can stab you in your back too. Think about it. Think about all these people that's been killed. All these so-called friends. Oh, my best friend died, but you were there. Nothing happened to you. You were fine. You are A-okay. But somehow your best friend died, but miraculously nothing happened to you. That's a little fishy if you ask me. Some of your day ones is suspect. Not all of them, just some of them. I got to the point to where if I did not talk to you, I started weeding out everybody. If I didn't know you for 3 to 4 years, I deleted your number. I didn't care. I did not care if I met you 6 months ago. Sometimes I didn't care if I met you 10 years ago. If you're not somebody that I talk to on a regular, for about 3 to 4 years consistently, throughout the years, I got rid of your number. I can't even tell you how many numbers is in my phone right now, because I don't even know. But now, majority of the numbers that's in my phone is all family. Majority of them is all family. I believe all of them just might be family, But the ones that's not family, I don't talk to them anymore. There's a lot of people numbers that I still have that I no longer talk to. Some, we just drifted apart. Some, you just got to let them go. You just got to cut your losses. Sometimes you got to cut your losses, and, it just got to be that. So, this is what I leave you with today, this morning. Remember, I know I was babbling, and I know sometimes you might watch this and be like, what is he talking about? But if you actually just listen, pay attention to what I'm saying, you will realize that everything that I said, like I said before, you will realize that everything that I said all makes sense. And it's all the same thing. Everybody is not always talking about you. Everybody is not always attacking you. Everybody is not always coming for you. sometimes it's like I said, a simple gesture can be a simple gesture. Sometimes a saying can be just that, a simple saying, no matter what it may be. I'm not gonna go into details because I'm just not. But I want to hear other people's stories on, different things that you've been through in life and how you felt, and how you got, how you overcame it. I don't care if you got to write me a paragraph. I want to hear from you. I really do. I want to hear from you. I want to know your story. For the ones who actually take this seriously and watch it to the whole thing, please leave a comment. Like, share, do whatever you're going to do. For the ones who will watch this and may think I'm joking or, talking outside of my neck, I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm not doing this to please anybody. It's something that I always said I wanted to do, and I'm doing it. So if you don't like it, just don't watch. And with that, I leave you. Boss Nation, gone.